morning, everyone. Thank you so very much for attending our monthly service for June 2019. Today, we will also have the one-year memorial service for the late Reverend Mitsuaki Otsubo, my sister Emiko's husband, with this monthly service. I hope we are all in excellent health and in warm, bright summer spirits. Reverend Mitsuaki Otsubo passed away on Friday, June 8 last year at age 68. He had a soft and gentle character by nature. The nature of the earth completely suited his nature. He was a man of the heart of the earth. Therefore, he has done his best to respect each and every happening in his life, as Kami's sake doing with good attitude, like the nature of the earth to polish his heart and renew himself throughout his life. He has shown the wonder of total acceptance. 2 years before his death, he was diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer. Without a bit of fear, he respected his stomach cancer as Gansama, honorable cancer, and did his best to change cancer cells into color cells, peaceful, joyful cells. Through having done so, he could develop his heart so deeply that we all admire this faith training of his, and he led our faith closer and closer to Kami. I believed he would have completely recovered from it through this faith practice of his. However, he passed away. First, I was shocked to hear it. Then I believed there would be more important reasons Kami had for his death. His final word was Konko-sama. He left everything up to Kami. He entered into the next world with divine virtue. He is now working vividly in the next world, as our founder said. After Konko Daijin's physical form is gone, Konko Daiji will go wherever asked. Mr. Sensei showed this conviction is not only for our founder. Like Konko Daijin, Mr. Sensei now goes wherever asked, anywhere in the world. Mrs. Emiko Otsubo, his wife, had realized his presence through daily happenings so precisely that she has never felt lonely since his death, even though he has not been able to physically see him. The working of his Mitama spirit are beyond the barrier of this world and the next world. She practiced faith to deepen peace and joy in her heart to communicate with him all the more. When she was asked what the process of life meant for her, she answered that it was the connection with Mitsuaki Sensei and his parental heart. How impressive is that? When Mitsuaki Sensei was hospitalized 4 years ago, he asked for all the names of the patients and hospital staff there. He had trained himself to deepen his heart through his Gansama. By doing so, he prayed for them for all the patient staff every morning and evening. He has shown the parental heart of our founders, that of as long as people can be saved. One of the prominent disciples of our founder, Reverend Norio Sato, consulted with the Shinto priest about how to establish the Konko faith as an independent religion. The disciple Reverend Sato then was asked if Konko faith had doctrines. The next day, Reverend Sato went to Konko Dai Hiromae and told him what had taken place. Konko Dai said, "It does not matter whether this faith becomes independent or not, as long as people can be saved." So Reverend Sato continued by saying, "After you die, people will think that this faith is temporal unless we have some written teachings." Konko Dai then turned toward the altar to pray about this matter, and soon receive revelation. It is better to write down the teaching of Kami. Konko was very pleased and said, Kami has given us permission. This is how admonition, Shinkai, and instruction of the faith Shinkun were born. I myself cannot help but feel how precious and great it was, and today is today, that our founder has shown us such a wonderful attitude, that of as long as people can be saved. This shows such an unselfish attitude. When Konko ministers support properly the faith, we tend to pay exclusive attention to just spreading this faith. However, if this faith is true, and if it is worthy, it will be spread naturally. If we are unselfish, it shall be spread by itself. There were some Konko ministers who went to China before World War II to propagate this faith. Without thinking of themselves, they did their best to take good care of the sick Chinese people and to build schools to give both the Chinese and Japanese children a good education. Then after Japan was defeated in the war, South Chinese make every effort to help those ministers, even though they would be blamed by other Chinese. That was because the Konko ministers disregarded themselves and did their best to help the Chinese people in their distress before and during the war. When I heard of this story, I felt that spirit of the founders, as long as people can be saved, was deeply ingrained in those Konko ministers. And I could not help but feel how wonderful and great this Konko faith was. As you know, I now exchange email with around 20 Americans. When I sent them my sermon for our every monthly service, I asked them what impressed them most with our faith. In the sermon, I had talked about my thought on what is Konko Kyo. I have received 6 responses so far. I was much impressed to find each person had grasped the uniqueness of our faith on their own. Among the responses, the most common characteristic was the unselfish attitude of ministers and believers. Ms. Jasper Dumadi lives in Kansas City. She has become an honest Konko believer since getting to know the faith in 2016. She attended our grand ceremony twice, even though it took 12 hours for her to come. She has even changed her major in the university to be of service to the Konko faith. Today, she is in Fukuoka City, Japan. On May 24, she left for Japan to do research with 18 students and will return to the USA on June 12. To my surprise, I heard she was staying at Fukuoka University from May 29 to June 11. That is in Fukuoka Prefecture, where the Konko Church of Iraq is also located. The only free time she had was today, this Sunday, June 9. I believe she will visit the Konko Church of Hakozaki, and I pray she has an enjoyable and memorable time there. The headmaster of there, Reverend Hideki Sada, trained himself under the guidance of the Reverend Soichiro Tsubo of the Konko Church Iraq at around the same time I myself trained there. She is to be picked up at Fukuoka University by Mr. Takanobu Yasutake, and Jasper-san shall be joining the work holiday service at the Konko Church of Hakozaki. Mr. Yasutake is a brilliant English speaker. I'm sure she will feel the great atmosphere there while talking over lunch and enjoying the great hospitality and the minister and believer there. Those minister and believer too, I believe, are showing our founder's spirit of as long as people can be saved. I now would like to tell you how some responders describe the uniqueness of the Konko faith. I have chosen two young Americans who have visited our church. Mr. Seth Carter came from Virginia with his newlywed wife Diana last August. He wrote, I think my answer is pretty simple. For me, I was attracted to how open the faith was in regard to other faiths, and how universal it seemed to be in its teachings. It's a simple faith too. I haven't heard of any big philosophical text that are needed to explain the faith. It's a very simple matter of being grateful to the universe and living in a way that is best for oneself and others. That's what attracted me at first, and what kept my desire to learn more about the faith. Another thing that Konko doesn't have is one size fits all type of answer to the question about faith and life. And it seems to acknowledge that everyone is one on their own journey, and what may work for one person may not be what someone else needs. It's a simple faith, but does require individual discernment, and that is what appealed to me. In Diana's case, she tells me that what attracted her most was that certain element of the faith remind her of Christianity, but she felt that the Konko faith was more spiritual than the Christianity she grew up with. After we visited you last August, Diana spent the next several days reading the Konko Church prayer book and felt that she learned a lot about the essence of the faith and its spirituality through the prayers. Our visit with you was also an experience that led to Diana becoming more open-minded about the faith, especially after experiencing your kindness, sincerity, and hospitality. Another young lady, Artemis-san, visited our church from Missouri to join our grand ceremony in May last year. She wrote, as for why the Konko faith appealed to me, I found the fact that I already had similar belief about the universe, and the idea of being thankful and that all things are kami were very appealing. Konko has a similar feeling to mindfulness, or observing your feeling and body's experience in the present moment and letting them go. I feel that we have to train ourselves to notice good things or see the good things in bad times. We are, as humans, more likely to notice and dwell on bad things. So I found the aspect Konko to focus on gratitude to kami in even small things very appealing and good for my mental health. I was raised with the idea that nature was bad because it was sinful and unclean. But the idea of respecting nature drew me into Shinto to begin with, and the idea that all things are kami and sacred drew me into Konko. The feeling of being surrounded by kami is something I have felt for a very long time, but Konko helped give me words for that feeling. Through exchanging email with these young Americans, I'm very happy to know they all sincerely think about their lives and seek the true way of life and genuine faith in their own way. The more honest and sincere their pursuit is, the more I believe they are drawn to the Konko faith. Here was of conviction from our founders that have amazed me. The true way Konko makes the world bright, shining through heaven, and will last forever. The true way of Konko makes the world bright, shining through heaven, and will last forever. What a marvelous conviction our founder had to the Konko faith. He gave this popular poem to his older son Hagio Konko in 1883, the final year of his life. Every day, whenever I offer my prayer in front of the Konko Kami altar, here is one of the sincere prayers. the Konko Church of Chicago become the #1 church in the world that is filled with the peaceful and joyful heart of all the people acquainted with our church. May the Konko Church of Chicago become the Mecca for young people in the world who seek a true way of life. To you young people, the true way to happiness is found in this faith. Come and learn it sincerely. Become a light to the world. To you young people, the true way to happiness is found in this faith. Come and learn it sincerely. Become a light to the world.